So traders, I want to talk to you about the coming 10% correction, why it's likely to come, what's going to happen when that happens, and how you can take advantage of what I believe is going to be a really good buying opportunity for these markets across the actual screen from there. So one thing I really want to sort of walk you through today is a few things. Okay, I want to start off with the foundations of how markets actually work within these markets here. And something that I was talking about with my 1% club today. I have a small group. I call them the 1% club because we're in the 1% of all traders around the world. If you'd like to join that group, then you can apply for it. That's the second link in the description there, guys. You can go apply for it. Now, the one thing I was talking to them about this market, and I was talking about this here coming up real soon. Let's actually look at this here. So if we look at the way these markets sort of swing and move in these markets, okay, we can see that just by looking at these markets, how they work, right? We go through these swinging motions, right? The markets, as you can see, the market will never just go straight up. We know that, okay? Well, smart investors know that, okay? But, so if that's the case, we know that when we go through an up move, we typically go through a down move. We go through up, we go down, we go up. We typically at least get some form of, even through here, we had that there, by the way, from the high to low was what? A 10% correction. So even this happened here after the whole COVID days. So if we step back from a 10,000 foot view of how these markets really work, we know that we've actually been going up for quite some time. So looking at the Dow Jones, looking at the S&P 500, and looking at all these different markets, we can see how all this is likely to line up, right? And so we can see that, yes, we're likely to go through a bit of a correction, but that's all it's going to be. The coming 10% correction, and that's all it's going to be. So the first thing is we can see that there's going to be a 10. Now, in reality, what does that look like on the charts? This is the weekly chart here. And if we see it on the reality, if we go from the low to high moves, and this is one thing I'm personally getting excited about myself, okay? So if you can just watch this unfold over the next couple of months, it's probably going to be a good buying opportunity for the last quarter of this year. So we can see this market had a really nice move to the upside, okay? Really, really nice move to the upside. So therefore, it's going to come a point in time where we're going to get one of these guys, okay? One of these, you know, we just know that, okay? So we just know that's coming. And it's actually quite a simple process, right? When you really think about it from a logical point of view, see these markets here, you're like, oh yeah, when the market goes up for a bit, if in an upward trend, we have a drop, which creates the high low, and then we have a move up, and then we have a drop, and we creates the high low, then we have a move up, and we have a drop, and creates the high low. So when we have a move up and we have a drop, what do you think it's going to be creating? Another higher low. Okay, so that's a big picture there, big picture analysis. So as this market is starting to unfold through this correction, and I believe September, August into September, we're probably going to have some really weaker periods in the stock market here. Okay, weaker periods in the stock market. So as that is unfolding through there, okay, I really want to share something with you. Firstly, we know there's going to be some type of correction. Is it going to be 5%, 10%? We don't know, but we do know there's going to be some type of correction that come into play, so it can create the what? So it can create the higher low. Because that's the thing, right? The market has to go down to create the higher low, because that's what a trend is, right? A trend is higher lows. But for a higher low to form, we have to go down a little bit. So that's where, like, if the market does go down, you know, oh my goodness, and go down what's going to call the noise. There's going to be a lot of noise in the marketplace. Right? And so the noise in the marketplace at that time is going to be what? There's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a lot of, that's it, the top's in. That's it, the market's down a lot. That's it, investors are fearful. Tariff, Trump's, worries. Like, there's going to be a lot of what's called noise that's going to come across your plate at that time. Just like there was back here as well too. What was there back here? A lot of noise. But what ended up happening? We had a big rally, okay? So the first thing I do want to say is, like, just prepare for that there. Now, also I want to share with you is this big, long-term monthly charts. If we do get a nice correction out of this level here, and by the way, that there is a 10% correction in the stock market. Does that look like anything like we are creating a massive topping pattern like in 1999, or a massive topping pattern? Is there any topping pattern formed like there was even in 08? No. What has been formed? It's very strong movement, higher lows all the way up. So if we did get that, there's going to be a massive probability of two things. Firstly, the noise is going to be, that's it, tops in, crash, start, investors are fearful, worried. That's going to be noise. Don't listen to noise. The probability is what? We're going to then form a higher low. So there's going to be an amazing buying opportunity, I believe, the next 2 months to then ride it into the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that, because the noise is going to stop you, slow you down, just like it did down the bottom here. It's going to slow you down when it comes to that level there. And this is where even when it comes down to, say, the Dow Jones. Look at the Dow Jones. What happens with the Dow Jones? And if you look at my moving average, like look at this here. We're still, so if the Dow Jones did get that, that correction. By the way, if I bring on my funky dunky lines through there, my target using this projection tool is 55,000 for the Dow Jones, by the way. I'll just put a line up there and then I'll remove this level here, right? But if we did get a 10% correction out of the Dow Jones, that would be what? That'd be right there. It'd be roughly, that'd be a 10% correction. Right there. Ooh. Right. Let's go to this one here. That'd be a 10% correction. Now, is that oh my goodness, the top is in, that's it, it's all over, that's it, I can't believe it, that's it, oh, told you. Is that going to be that? Now, by the way, what you just heard just there, is going to be what's going to come out in the media. All right? You can just see it a mile away. It's going to be a lot of noise in the marketplace. Right? A lot of noise. Don't listen to the noise. Now, why am I saying that? Look at this here. This point through here. What was happening through there? Trump got elected. Noise was, that's it, it's going to be crash the markets. COVID. That's it. COVID, big spike down. Here we go. The noise was top in markets, but no. This one here, 2023, recession, market come down, market, big recession. No recession. Market go market make new highs. Big move down, tariff, that's it, tops in. You see what I'm saying here? So if you've been part of the markets now, say for 10 years, firstly, it's important to learn from history, right? I don't want you to be part of I don't want you to be one of these things that learns what I'm teaching you here right now, and then in 2 months you're freaking out because the market's down 10%. It's coming. It's what, by the way, it's what markets do, right? Market go up and market come down, create higher low. Market go up, market come down, create higher low. Market go up. And these can be a good 5, 10%, sometimes more, sometimes more. All this here, that 20% drop there, 15 to 20% drop in the market, tariff, was just what? Creating another higher low, and a higher low. So, one, we do know the market is going to have a pullback because that's what markets do. They don't just go straight up. We're going to have a bit of a pullback. Be prepared for that. That pullback might last 1 to 2 months, maybe get into the 10+% correction level. When that happens, the fear and greed index is going to start to ping into the extreme fear. When that happens, the noise in the marketplace is going to heat up about people, investors are worried, and so on and so forth. You can see it coming a mile away, right? This is what the pattern is. That's going to be noise. And guess what's going to happen? People who can ignore the noise and take advantage of it are going to be exactly like what happened at the start of this year as well too. So forget the noise, and just listen to the charts. And at the end of the day, when we come back down to, say, this chart right here, or if I just bring on this chart right here, as you can see, this is what's going on here on the Dow Jones, and this is here with the S&P 500. And all I'm saying here with the S&P 500, and this is now going into a daily charts, once we do start the correction, and this is not me saying short the market, by the way, guys. You don't Just because you think the market's going to go down today, you don't short the market based off that. If you do, you're a moron, right? No, wait, trade with the trend. What does that mean? It means be patient and wait for this thing to happen. Come down through to here, then buy it and then trade with the trend. Why? Because the bigger moves are with the trend. Make sense? But like, oh, stock market's going to go down, I'm going to go short. No, you're a moron. Don't do that, right? Firstly, you're trading based off just an idea, right? So don't do that. So secondly, this is what it's probably going to look like, when it comes to the actual stock market. So a 10% correction is coming, but don't listen to the noise. Only the signal, noise and signal of the markets is going to be the differences from here. That's going to really, really help you out from there. And also, guys, last thing I want to share with you guys when it comes down to the markets is silver and gold. I've been sharing a lot of stuff with you guys on YouTube. And as you guys know, if you've been following me now for the last few months, you would know that I was saying when silver was through here, get ready because we're about to go for another move. Get ready, get ready, right? There's been so many things. If you followed me, which by the way, I guarantee you, a lot of you guys are following me, but following so many other people, and you're all over the place, and that's the thing that's slowing you down, you would know that I talked about this level here. I publicly talked about platinum. When platinum broke out here, I mentioned it on YouTube and said we're likely now make it go for a big move, and it happened. That was platinum there. I mentioned even the Ethereum move, right? I talked about Ethereum on this channel and I said, guys, I'm getting involved with Ethereum now, and we had a big move. A lot of my trades, I'm actually letting you know what I'm in. Now, I'm actually in 2 trades right now, and they're very nicely in the green, very nicely positive. I'll talk to you about those once I'm actually closed the trade. I'm not going to let you know what trade I'm in right now, because then probably most of you guys will go, well, John's in it right now, let me actually get involved with it. That's not what this is all about. I'm trying to share with you that I try to give you guys a bit of a heads up about what's going on. And as you can see from a lot of the things I've been calling lately, I've been talking about lately, they've been playing out, right? And from there, so the purpose of me saying that is that if we have a look at the silver price or even the SLV price, what's the SLV price? We're starting to continue break up and we're having really nice moves to the upside. So it's all about first, but by the way, guys, when it comes to my trading style, silver actually meets trading rules, not just an idea. I hope you realize that, right? Most of you guys don't make money because you don't even actually have a plan you're following. You're like, oh, well, this guy on YouTube said it's good, so let's do this. That's why 95% of you guys won't be around 12 months from now, okay? And that's where only 1% of you guys are actually in part of my 1% club. As I said before, second link in the description there, you can apply for it. But that's my 1% club. 1% club, the reason why I call it the 1% club is because we are, most of my group in that, most of them are part of the 1% of all traders who are doing really well this year. And just absolutely just crushing it. So silver's going up, and gold I see actually having a really nice move soon as well too. So it's going sideways. I've talked about this for the last couple of months. And also the mining sector is really starting to heat up as well too. So we're really starting, and I've been mentioning this, guys, a lot of videos I've been talking about this sort of stuff here, right? The big thing I really want to finish off with this video here is this. As you can see, that I was in platinum, then Ethereum, then an individual stock, right? And then now I'm in silver and gold, right? Actually, I'm not in gold right now, right? And then I'm looking at the mining sector. So as you can see that if you are missing out on so many opportunities, I don't love or hate any market. I didn't care about any market. I just read the market and then I take advantage of these opportunities that come around. As you can see, platinum, when that appeared, I took advantage of that. I didn't trade platinum, but that took advantage of that. Ethereum, I took advantage of that. Made a lot of money, right? Individual stocks, I take advantage of that, right? There's one bank stock right now that I'm actually looking at right now as well too. I'm going to take advantage of that, right? If you do not know what you are doing, firstly, grab access to my free trading course, second link in the description. But more importantly, if you do not know what you are doing, you are literally missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits just in the last 3 months. How do I know? Without me saying what I've actually made this year, I'm trying to give you guys a bit of a heads up about. There is literally tens of thousands and potentially even, and I know for my personal trading, hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits that you're missing out on because you don't even know this stuff, right? And so there's two things I really want to sway you down here right now. Firstly, if you are really serious about this, then you need to join my 1% club. Yes, I'm pushing you to join my 1% club because this is where, like, for example, one person in my 1% club, right? He actually just recently said that his wife just retired because of how much money he's been making from trading this year. His wife retired, the wife doesn't work anymore. Like, that's what I'm talking about, 1% club, right? And so I'm telling you right now is that if you are not getting the proper training, even if it's not from me, but from someone else, if you are not putting some real good, serious, proper training behind you, you are missing out on so much money because there's so much opportunities coming past your plate. And I've publicly talked about this on YouTube. I talked about platinum before it actually made a big move. I mentioned this. I was mentioning Ethereum before Ethereum made a big move, right? I mentioned silver. I said, guys, I'm really focusing on silver right now. Guys, I'm focusing on silver right now. And look what happened. Ever since I talked about that, silver's now up, 6%, and it's getting started. Guys, I'm focusing on the mining stocks right now. Guys, you see what I'm saying here, right? Like I'm doing that because it comes to the trading. Okay, so if you're really serious about this and you are struggling right now, then at least on a bare minimum, grab access to my free trading course. But if you are really disciplined, you want to finish this year off really strong, then you need to apply for my coaching, for my 1% club, where you're with me at least for an hour or two per day through with the market, so I can coach you and guide you down the right path. Speak to you soon, guys.